Boom, I'm in the room. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is coming to you from the Old Heale Manor, and I'm your host, Lord Heale. Now, I've got a few things I want to go through. But first, who agrees with me that this lot should resign immediately, if not before? They are not fit for purpose. Not one of them has got a clue. The whole of Labour's front bench should resign. End of story. What they're doing to this country in their first 100 days plus is short of treason. Yeah, you can't. They're so inept. It's unbelievable. Anyway, old two-tier here, he turns up in Hungary at the European political community. He was one of the last to turn up, I think. But all the leaders that have gone before him all got a big hug and a handshake from old Viktor Orban. He turns up, snubbed. Got snubbed. Nobody there to meet him. You couldn't make it up. You really couldn't. I mean, old Viktor Orban even gives old Macron a bit of an handshake and a hug. Have you noticed across Europe, they're all voting in right parties, and we're the only country that was stupid enough to bring in the left one. Even America's gone down the right path, haven't they? So let's move on a bit. Something more important to talk about. London, 19th of November. Farmers en masse. Now, I've just heard something which is quite disturbing. The NFU, which is the National Farmers Union, have said that they've got enough farmers to turn up. They've hand-picked around about 600 farmers to go and meet members of Parliament. Actually, Labour members of Parliament. Now, and they're saying that they don't need any more to turn up. Well, do you think that's in the best interest of farmers? Do you think that the NFU are a little bit too close to cozying up to the government? Do you think the government's applying pressure? Well, I would suggest that farmers ignore that and turn out anyway. And if you have the time on Tuesday, the 19th of November, I would suggest that you go and lend your support. A bit like the old Enough is Enough, Unite the Kingdom march. Let's turn out in big numbers to support our farmers. Because if we don't, we may not have any farms left. Now, something I'd seen just recently, some figures, we were producing somewhere around about 70% of the food that we eat. That has now reduced down to around about 62%, which is quite worrying because it's our food security that is at risk. So you've got no farmers, you've got no food, and you've got no future. Because we won't be able to import enough, and if we get blockades, strikes and all the rest of it, there won't be anything on the shelves. So our farmers need support. They're quite happy to let all these counter-protests going on, all these far left protests, all these, what do you call them, Free Palestine and Just stop idiots. Yeah. Stop killing the farmers. Already there's a few farmers have taken their own lives. Did you know that farmers are at the biggest risk of suicide? They are the one next to the military that are apt to take their own lives because of the pressures, trying to make ends meet. And this £1 million, anything above £1 million, you're hit with inheritance tax, is just wrong for farms, for family-run farms. Anyway, we need to support our farmers. Buy British. Wherever you can, buy British. It may be a few pence more, but it's helping. It's the one way that we can help our farmers is to buy British. And I'd urge everybody to do that. Something else they ought to do is, instead of teaching kids nonsense, instead of teaching kids what to think, they should be teaching them how to grow food, where food comes from. Teaching them something of use instead of teaching them woke nonsense. So there you go, that's my tuppence on that. Moving on then. Right, this weekend, the cenotaph and war memorials all over the place. It's our weekend to remember our war dead. To remember the millions of lives that have died for this country. It's our weekend. Nobody else's. Ours. To remember. We ask for one day a year. However, other people have different ideas. They want to continue this shit going on. We don't need protests on Remembrance Weekend. It just shows a total lack of respect for this country. Absolutely total disrespect. And anybody who takes part in these protests needs deported. And I mean, what? I mean, they've been protesting on Saturdays. So this particular weekend in Birmingham, they want to protest on a Sunday. Really? And the Birmingham City Council are letting it happen? And this lot. Now, get a load of this. Breaking news. 3,197 illegal migrants have crossed the Channel in the last 10 days. Look at that number. That's taken it to somewhere, I don't know, 33,000, maybe 34,000. I haven't seen the latest added up figure. So, hey Starmer, how's smashing the gains coming on? You ain't doing very well at it, are you? Because more and more have come under your tenure. The only way to stop the buggers is deport them, take away all the benefits. Don't put them up in bloody hotels. Stick them in tents until you can deport them. Lay on special boats, special flights. Deport them. That's the only way. Take away the benefits, deport them. Anybody that's coming to the country illegally without paperwork doesn't get to stay. Ever. End of story. It's the only way you're going to stop it. Ask Georgia Maloney. She knows how it's done. You went to see her. She told you. Have you implemented it? Nah. Anyway, finished on a light note. Oh, Kamala Harris has got a new pronoun, and they are has been. I saw that and I thought, I've got to put this on. I've got to put this one up, haven't I? Also, Kamala Harris. My pronouns are has been. So there you go. That's my Tuppence Halfpenny's worth. So if you can, do whatever you can to support our farmers. Because if you don't, our food security is at risk. Remember the last time that there was hardly anything on the shelves? All the panic buying? It'll be a lot worse if we lose our farmers. I can tell you that for nothing. If our farmers start going, did you know that the farming community has the biggest incidence of suicide in the country, next to the military? Yeah. Think on that one. Our farmers and our military need supporting. So until the next one, thanks for your time. Don't forget the thumbs up and the subscribe and the smash the like buttons and all the rest of it. So until then, TTFN. Ta-da for now.